In 2016 says MOH announced a war on diabetes. The war so powerful that even cook 燒大了sia. Now I got another war right that will make our food right taste more like my wife cooking out. Here's everything you need to know right about HPP's new war against salt. I'll simplify for you. Don't assist if you don't understand my essence video. So now in order to prevent being POFMA, let me just clarify this out. The war on diabetes is a real phrase used by MOH. But the war on salt is come out one cause the pattern like same but differently. So in case you didn't know, we Singaporeans cause we too relaxed, so we often have the three highs. High blood sugar, which is diabetes, high cholesterol, which people who want to look smart right call it hyper, and high blood pressure, which is also known as hypertension. Now all three are dangerous and silent killers cause you won't feel anything but might have them, especially if you got a belly like me, then all of a sudden it can kill you without symptoms. So it's important right to keep all of them low. You can keep your blood pressure healthy right by many ways like exercising, and I know you know we also know Although you should also know that salt intake will actually affect blood pressure as well. So the goal now is to reduce salt intake. Salt is technically sodium, and HPP's goal is to reduce sodium intake of each one of us by 15% in 5 years. But how will you ask? Simple, you see. If salt is too salty, right, you just add more sugar, then you won't be salty. You think I'm stupid, right? No, of course that won't work. It doesn't work that way. Instead, we should add more water to dilute it so you'll be less salty. Don't be an idiot. Instead, the goal is to work with companies cause most of our sodium come hidden like in those seasoning or processed food. So this means company add that one example is instant noodle. HPP is going to work with people in the industry to reduce sodium in those processed food or seasoning. But for us individuals, how can we help with? Exercise, eat whole food instead of processed food, and then sleep well. I know you also cannot do that. If not, you won't be thick as me. So instead, you can use salt that got less sodium. You didn't know that, right? Like pink salt or sea salt got less sodium than table salt. And then substitute those table salt with MSG. I know you're angry, but I'm more angry than how many times I tell you MSG is better than salt, you idiot. You see, stories of how bad MSG are all fake news. Now, whether HPB will make food with high sodium more expensive or not will depend on the situation. But this means one thing, soon all our food might taste like cardboard already. But the good news is that we can live longer. In the meantime, watch this video to know why people think MSG is unhealthy. And also subscribe to us if you have not done so.